Might have to work out a couple verses.
Right.
He's gonna be a few minutes late. Did he reach out to you? All right, so you might have to. How are you? Student rep. Excellent. Oh, man, so. It's a pretty good. Good.
Meeting of the South Hunterdon Regional Board of Education is called to order. Adequate notice is required by the Open Public Meetings Act as provided on December 5th, 2022 by posting this notice with respective clerks of the city of Lambertville, Borough of Stockton, and Township of West Hampton, and advertised on December 8th, 2022 in the Hunterdon County Democrat and Trenton Times newspaper.
Nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jim Shea,
Here.
Frank Keys. Here. Lenny Kowalski, John Lewis. Here. Paige Patchouli.
Here.
Dana Kinsell, Megan Warner, Ronnie Tamarino, Jim Gallagher.
start with the PTA LAF. So anyone from the PTO?
Hi guys, Jessica Hunterdon, West Amwell PTO. We're so excited to start the 23-24 school year off. We are off to a really great start. Last Friday, we hosted our outdoor back to school movie night. We mixed up our Super Wildcats with the Super Mario Brothers and everyone had a blast. This event is really easy to put on with just the help of board members and some Wildcat staff members. We were even able to use the district sound equipment this year, which was a game changer because we didn't have to lug all the stuff in and ask for donations. Our room parent assignments went out in record time this year. They went out the first week of school, which I don't know that that's ever happened before. All room parents should have received their welcome email and reached out to their student's teacher. Room parents play a huge role at West Amwell, and they bridge the gap between school and home and help streamline communication. Our first kids night out is this Friday from 6:30 to 9. Parents or guardians can sign their students up in the membership toolkit app. The price is $20 if prepaying online and $25 at the door. For those of you who are unfamiliar, students are signed in and out by a PTO board member. We feed the kids dinner and a snack, and there is always a WAS staff member present. All kids night out events have been scheduled for the year and can be found on the district's website. Trunk or treat will be on Friday, October 27th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. More details will go out closer to the event, and all are welcome to this event, all LPS families and grandparents, everyone. All that we ask is that you donate candy with your admission. Our holiday shop for the 23-24 school year has been scheduled. It's scheduled for December 4th through 8th. More details will come out on that later. The PTO has scheduled a parents paint and sip night at Paint Party Farm. So mark your calendars for Thursday, December 7th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Sign up will be on membership toolkit. We are looking into co-hosting a spring community event with LPS at Ely Field sometime in March. Our hope is to get our communities together and have a blast. We are thinking of a DJ, inflatables, kickball, wiffle ball games, and a snack shack benefiting the LPS PTA and West Amwell PTO. We're still ironing out the details on this one and working closely with the youth sports programs to find a time that works best for all interested parties. We're also thinking that it's going to be a great community outreach for the local sports programs to get more interest. Our flag team was really light this, so we don't have one, and our other stuff has been pretty light. So getting them to meet new students that might be interested and be good for everybody. We're looking into alternative fundraising this year. Last year, we relied very heavily on our kids' night out events, which worked out great, but we brainstormed at our last meeting on Wednesday, our meeting on Wednesday, and we came up with some great ideas like a student art show where parents could come and purchase their students' art, a dodgeball tournament, tailgate party, date night raffle, game night, trivia night, a scavenger hunt, a coat drive, or a wildcat potluck. Our sixth graders are off to a great start with fundraising. They have raised close to $5,000 so far. Their upcoming fundraisers include a Q Crew takeout night, on back to school night, stuff a Wildcat plush, cheesecakes, and a clothing drive. The forms for Q Crew and the Wildcat stuff a plush are live on MTK right now. Thank you for your time, and our next member meeting is Wednesday, October 11th.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone from the PTA?
Hi, everybody. It's nice to see you. Okay, we have our Stephanie Ballmer, LPS PTA. Just reporting out on PTA and sixth grade fundraising for this year. We've got our picture day coming up this Friday. Back to school night is Thursday, and that's going to be, we hope, a big PTA membership drive for us, since as sort of the first time we're kind of all coming together. So keep an eye out for the tables there at back to school night. And if you can't make it and you want to join, the link will go out in Mrs. Quinones's Friday email too. But we're looking to get, good membership support this year. The Spirit Store is open. We're using Princeton Threads again, and that link will also go out in Friday emails. And we're looking into, the PTA is looking into making a shirt this year, designing a shirt maybe with an art contest from the students that would kind of record this unusual year that LPS is having. So hopefully there'll be some more information about that at the next meeting. We are into some book fair options for us that will work with the location. One idea is an online book fair this fall, and another idea is just an evening event because there's not quite enough space to have it set up for a whole week. In the fall, in the spring, we'll definitely have an in-person regular fair. But for now, we're hoping to try and find some other alternative that will work for us to still have a book fair event, just in a smaller scale, more suited for the space. We have our Halloween dance. We just got the date confirmation. So the Halloween dance will be Friday, October 20th. That will be as part of the 6th grade fundraiser for us. So hopefully that will be a big event. The Parents' Night Out is scheduled for October 27th. And so keep an eye out for details about that. And we just going out in folders today or tomorrow. This week will be information about the new after-school enrichment program that the PTA is sponsoring. There's some great classes that Puneet Rao has put together with some other parents, a coding class, a comics class, a yoga class, I think some of the other ones, all their theater one. Yeah, there's lots of really interesting things and trying to sort of build that program so that parents have more options for after-school fun and learning for their kids. So all that information should go out in folders this week. And as for the 6th grade, we were really grateful to Michael for setting up pretzel sales, or not pretzel, cookie and lemonade sales over the summer, which was fun and got us sort of a leg up on the school year. I think we have maybe $2,000 so far. We've got a couple of things coming out, including a pretzel sale at back to school night, which we'll do alongside the PTA membership table, get people a snack for back to school night and hopefully raise some money and just let people know that we're raising funds. We also have worked with the city to get permission to do pretzel sales on Church Street after school. So while we have the warm weather, we'll do a couple of those this fall too. We're looking into an urban air event in November, which we hope would reach out to both communities and even beyond, sort of like a give back program with an urban air. On October 22nd, we're going to coordinate with the house tour and set up a hot apple cider and pumpkin bread sale outside the Marshall House in town. So hopefully we'll be able to bring in some good funds from that event. And we're also looking into creating a kind of give back program or local coupon book with businesses in town. We had a really generous donation from a business when we were doing the cookie sale and felt strongly encouraged that there was a real opportunity for the schools to build a stronger connection to businesses in town, not just coffee shops, but retail stores as well. So we're looking into that and to see if there's a way to, for all of us to build those connections. So I think that's it. Thank you.
Presenting here from LA. Main news is we got our first grant application this week, so that's exciting. Let's keep that under review. And our fall fundraiser is just 2 weeks away. October 1st and 2nd, we have our annual golf outing. This year on Sunday evening, we're trying a family-friendly 9-hole competition, adult and child. And we've had very generous support from the community so far. So it's looking like it's going to be a successful event, bring in a lot of funds for the kids. But we do need participants. We need more golfers. We have plenty of room for both the adult child 9-hole contest on Sunday evening and for our main event on Monday, October 2nd. Thanks.
Thank you. Real quick, I just wanted to mention, we don't have it on the agenda tonight, but as you know, last year we started out with a student rep sitting on the board at the table in every meeting. So we do have a student rep. I'm gonna just mention who it is. I'll do a formal introduction next meeting. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it tonight, but she promised me she'll be here the rest of the way through. So our student rep this year will be Stella Reed, who is a 12th grader. And we will have a nameplate for her the next time, and then we'll do an official introduction, and then she'll do her first report at our October meeting. Yeah.
Can we have a motion to approve the minutes? Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So a couple of things, a few slides that I put together. Just want to say thanks really to everyone for I think a pretty successful start of the school year. A lot of changes this year, with a new student information system, obviously one of our elementary schools off-site, and then a new schedule at the high school, so in middle school, so a lot of different things. Great, navigating through car lines and doing all the different things that they do each and every day. So we truly appreciate it. Considered and going pretty well, and we're excited about how particularly administrative team as well, for all the hard work they did during the summer. So one of the things that I did want to report out on this evening is that if you recall, in the springtime, toward the end of the year, we did do a climate survey, and we had students, staff, and parents provide a lot of input about a variety of different things. So I want to share the overall results tonight with you. We've been talking a lot as a board about this, specifically in our school community committee. We took a lot of time this summer really analyzing the results of all the comments and all the different things that folks provided as far as input to really kind of glean where we're doing really well and then areas of focus for us moving forward. So I want to share that this evening. Tomorrow on our website under the What's New section, you will see, if you want to look in more detail with some of the climate survey results, you'll have the ability to do that. But I wanted to kind of give an overview tonight and then talk a little bit about some of the things we're working on. So we'll start out first with the positive things. When I give a summary of this, it's really taking a look at all the comments. So there's a lot of comments, folks that have provided feedback. So tried to kind of put together overall general needs and look at each and every comment. So there were a lot of class together. So a couple of things that folks pointed out, and I give credit to our district, for our district, what our students really are done by our staff. So as I meet with new staff, we're going through the hiring process. Sometimes I'll get the question of, tell me what's special about the district. And that's what I typically say, is that, when you walk through the halls, you will know every child, and that doesn't happen in a lot of districts. So I think that's really, we are very fortunate to have small class sizes compared to other districts in the state of New Jersey. For a smaller district, we do offer a lot of extracurricular activities. Hopefully within the last week, you received text messages I sent out with some new documents that we have that kind of list all the different extracurricular opportunities that we have for our students in all of our buildings. And you can see there are a lot of things for our students to get involved in. And our goal is for every student in some capacity to get involved in extracurricular. Diversity among our student population, and that has been increasing over the last several years. We put a lot of time and effort into mental health supports. We all know right now that even prior to COVID, that's a big challenge for our youth across our country. So we put a lot of different things in place to try to support our students the best we possibly can. And I think it was apparent from the survey results that people recognize that about support. SEL, so social emotional learning, that's been something that's been on the forefront for us for many years. So, we got a lot of positive feedback on the work that's been done. Our teachers are committed to helping students, with such small class size, and the fact that, we're smaller with enrollment, our teachers know all the kids. So as far as developing those relationships and being available to help was really important. District communication has improved. Students, and this is probably one of the most important ones on the list. Students feel like there's an adult in the building where they go to school that they can go to in a time of need. So our goal is for every student to have someone to be able to go to. Obviously, their parents, we get that, but if something's going on and they really need to seek out an adult within our school setting, our goal is that we can ask any student in the district and they'd be able to tell us, who that person would be. So that came out through student feedback as well as parents. And then teacher availability for help, whether before school or after school, throughout the day, after school, teachers are available to help. So these were like the positive qualities that we, took from the survey. And then these are some areas of focus. Communication at the school level. So I think we spent a lot of time, the principals and I, this summer talking about communication at the school level. Hopefully today you got our first version of News Bites, that we had sent out. We will be doing that every 2 weeks rather than the monthly newsletter, which, was great, but it was long. We know that, and that was the feedback we got. The hope is with the communication with the News Bites that you'll have dates, upcoming things, and a lot of other things you can click on to access to. And we're really trying to keep it to a max 1 to 2 pages. The elementaries today were 1, the middle school, high school was 2, and that's really going to be our goal. So it's a quick find for our parents. It's not going to take a lot of time, and really some of those important upcoming dates will pop out right away, because I know obviously that's challenging to keep track of. More information on kind of our district philosophy over the last couple of years about restorative practices and how it relates to discipline. That's something that we'll be kind of focusing on education with our parent population throughout the school year. This came out loud and clear, student recognition for academic achievements. So we kind of have a focus of how we'll be going about that this year. Some of that will come through our News Bites. And we really want to try to balance that as best we possibly can with some of the athletic teachers that I know come out quite often. That was something that came back loud and strong in the survey. Academic rigor. This is a major emphasis for our district, and will continue to be really making sure that we're providing challenging environments for all of our students with material, classroom instruction. Test scores. We know that that's been an area of emphasis that we're really focusing on, moving forward, and it's going to be one of Jane Ellen's, Lennon, our new director of curriculum assessment instruction, major focuses as transitions into the district. Increased academic opportunities, so even beyond what we offer, and really one of our big focuses is dual enrollment programs. So whether it's with Seton Hall University or the College of New Jersey or RVCC, really trying to provide a lot of different opportunities for our students so that they can earn college credits while they're with us, or even be able to experience the inside of a college classroom depending upon the situation. So that is something that we're focusing on as well. More homework assigned. I don't know if the kids would like that one, but that was something that did come across. So that, that's something we are going to take a look at. There can go both ways with that. There's a lot of research on homework nowadays, which is interesting research, but it was a common theme among many of the parents. Course offerings kind of goes in line with the academic opportunities and how we can kind of expand that. And even as we look at our new schedules for our reconfiguration for pre-K 4 and 5-8, our gifted and talented program, things that we're going to be evaluating. Those are all opportunities to look for perhaps different course offerings that our students could be, access that maybe they didn't have access to before. Student engagement, which really comes in line with our instructional model, small group instruction, data-driven instruction, rather than whole group instruction, to really engage and try to differentiate the best that we possibly can. And this came from more of the middle school, high school, so we've been working on this, bathroom cleanliness, facility-wise. So we've been working with our facility department over summer to make sure that that gets tidied up, for this year. So again, these are kind of common themes, from the survey. When we talk about district communication, a couple things I want to share, and you'll probably hear a little bit more about this on back to school night. I mentioned about the News Bites. We're really looking to try to use School Messenger for our main communication to school information. I think in the past, kind of our approach has been we just throw it all over the place, and folks may not know, like, where do I go to find out about something that's going to be going on later in the week or an event or school closing. We're really looking at, School Messenger, whether it's, and if you've noticed, we've kind of gotten to have it a little bit more of beyond the email, the text messaging with a lot of feedback that we've received. Parents would much rather get a quick text message than maybe check the email at times. We're taking advantage of that. The social media piece, Facebook, as you saw in my email today, we are going to be launching by the end of the week. Instagram pages for each one of our schools. We're kind of getting away from X or Twitter, or it's gotten a little crazy in the last, month or two. So I think we're going to try to focus more of our attention on Facebook and Instagram and use that more for community relations and engagement, the opportunity to share different things. I'm hoping maybe last night you had the opportunity. I shared some things about our FFA program, which we had a pretty successful weekend at a national competition. I shared some things this morning about progress on our pre-K4 building with construction. So those are the ways we're really looking to utilize that information, especially for our community, for folks that don't have children in the district. And we're looking to really try to promote as best we possibly can more following for our social media pages, especially for our folks in the community, who don't have kids. And we really want to try to tap into a resource. And then the use of our website. So, a lot of the things, and you'll see even in the news bites today that went out, there was links that kind of brought you back to the website, that being really the hub of information for parents. So you may get a little teaser in a news bite about a particular topic. And for parents who want to dig into that a little bit further, there's probably going to be a link that will take you back to the website. And obviously, if it's not important to a parent, then maybe they just, read what's in the news bite and kind of move on to other things. So trying to give you that choice where, if you're really interested in something, we'll give you the opportunity to dig into that a little bit deeper. And then district calendar. So this is something that came out loud and clear in the survey. Parents saying, I really want to be able to go to a place where I can see everything in one place rather than going to this school site and that school site. And some things are on the calendar and other things aren't on the calendar. So what we are really looking to do, and I'll just show quickly, if I go to our website, bear with me. And you've probably noticed this before. So if you look at our website, there is an area here that says calendar. And when you click on that, it brings you to a program that we use called Our School, where originally we had brought it online to really more navigate our athletic calendar. But you'll notice that there are other events on here. Most of them require a building rental, so it's a facility use. But what we've talked about in the last week is that we really want to branch that out. You do have kind of a search capability. So on here, if you see click, view schedules or view other calendars, you can kind of self-select. So if you want to see all district events, you can click on all. If you just want to see for LPS, athletics. So we think this is the way to go. And we're working on training our secretaries at the building level to be able to put all events on this calendar. So if it requires a building use, great. It will be on the calendar. It'll be a building use form. If it doesn't, like it's just picture day, but it's something that's important for parents to know, it will be on this calendar as well. So as a parent, I know I can click on calendar and really get an idea of what's going on district-wide, or if I want to hone in on just my individual school, what's going on school-wide. So the hope will be, again, to kind of streamline communication for parents so they're not searching all over the place to find out when's the concert again. And obviously, there's a lot of things that we can build out in the beginning of the year that we know when field day is going to be, or Camp Fairview, or whatever it is, the prom. Those are all things that we can front load, and then it's there for the entire year. And then as things come up throughout the school year, obviously, we can add that accordingly. So look for that in the next week or so. We're just doing some training with our secretarial staff, and then hopefully we'll get that up and running. So again, that will help with communication as best we possibly can. All right. So as we move into construction, so if you didn't see my social media post this morning, or this morning it was, there's some exciting information. So obviously the courtyard looks very different than it did maybe 3 months ago. But what you see here is everything is ready to go for footings for our new addition. So we expect that to be happening in the next week or so. where they'll literally be pouring the footings and getting ready to start building that new addition in front of the school. So this kind of just gives you an idea of everything, you know, that was dug out and everything that's now been put back, compact and ready to go for a new addition. I think it's exciting. We got new walls going up. So if you know, when I walk through the inside of the building, which I do every couple of days, you got steel, you know, walls that are being erected throughout the building based on some of the new configurations. You can see some of that in some of these pictures. You also have all the glass that was removed that we have big concerns about. Fire ratings has now all been removed. And now we're starting to build a new wall that will go up in that area where the glass used to be. You can see what that looks like. And then again, here's more, as you can see, being built all the way down. It's exciting. And then this is big, right? So ADA is a huge thing for us. It's one of the main driving forces behind the work that we're doing. And you can see we are now putting in all the new doorways for all of our classrooms. The block has been cut out. It's now 36 inches wide, which is ADA requirement. New frames are being put in. So that's exciting for me because that was something that I was very, very concerned about, both for our student population and our parent population. I want to make sure obviously that all of our buildings are ADA acceptable. So exciting. There's a lot happening, continuing to be on schedule. And I'm going to try to shoot for at least once a week, probably on Mondays as well, you know, posting out on social media, you know, the latest and greatest from that week as far as construction and work that goes along. So I know obviously driving by the pre-K4, you can see different things out front, but I know you're not going in the building. At least you shouldn't be. And obviously there's a lot of things happening inside there that I'm trying to keep everyone up to speed on. And then for 5A, so we do have a groundbreaking ceremony scheduled for this Thursday morning at 10 a.m. It's going to be out on the field where the new school will be. You probably noticed some machinery that's arrived in the last couple of days, which I have a few pictures of. So the site work has begun with fencing. It's been put up. All the sill fence was delivered last week, so that will be put up. And then, you know, I'm assuming probably starting tomorrow, they will start clearing the site. Today, because of the rain, I figured that's probably why they were here. We still are waiting on DEP approval, and there's 3 particular areas that we're focused on: water quality management plan, the New Jersey pollutant discharge elimination system, and then treatment work approval. So there is a lot of site work that we can complete in the meantime. We do have a call every Monday morning at 9:30 where we get updates to kind of see where things stand. We did receive information back on Friday about a question for the water quality management plan, and we provided that information to them today. It's something that they wanted to see. So again, we hope that we'll get that resolved as quickly as we possibly can. And then, as I said, machinery arrived on Friday, and then there was a big excavator that wound up coming in on Saturday that was out there today. And you can see there has been fencing that's set up around the entire site to keep it secure. And I anticipate that you'll see earth start to be moved in the next couple of days and continue to kind of move forward. So that's exciting. And we'll celebrate that again on Thursday morning. And obviously we'll have a lot of pictures that will go out to the community of the groundbreaking ceremony. All right. And then transitioning. So this is always the meeting where we talk about our district goals. We recently had a retreat work session with the board earlier this month, and we spent a lot of time really taking a look at what our district goals would be for 2023-24. So I wanted to share them this evening, and then obviously they will be posted on our website. Some of them will seem familiar that you've seen before, where we continue to dig in to blended and personalized learning. Really, the goal is to meet all the individual needs of our students in the district. So you'll see, some big focuses for our staff is really unpacking what we call essential standards. So if you're not aware, the state of New Jersey, teachers will tell you, and if you know any teachers, ask them this from time to time, and they will tell you that there's a lot of standards to cover in the state of New Jersey, more than we probably have school days. So as a teacher, they really have to focus in and work together collaboratively to focus on what is essential, right? And then the nice to know versus the need to know. The need to know is really, really important for this year, next year, the year after. The nice to know can be as important as well, but not as important. We got to make sure that our students really master the need to know for a variety of different reasons. Small group instruction and the core practices, what's the link here that you're interested in looking at. continue to be an important part of what we're focusing on. And then that last word in that second bullet, data, is really, really important. Really analyzing data, something, quite honestly, Jane Ellen's been rolling the sleeves up and really looking at our standardized test scores, and going through it and really digging in, but from, a totality of our district staff in general, really using that data to drive instruction. Small group instruction, and that's something we'll be monitoring through our lesson planning. Now that we have on-course, all our teachers are using that, system for all their lesson planning. We have access to all their lesson plans in one place, and then also our classroom observations. What we really expect when we visit classrooms that we're going to be seeing small group instruction driven by data, right? It's a purpose for our students to be looking at small group instruction. And then the second year of our coaches, we have two phenomenal coaches with a wealth of knowledge and had a very successful first year. So now they can really hit the ground running in year two, and they've done that already. And they will be supporting our teachers and in the work that we're doing. So multi-tiered system of support. If you're interested in finding out more, there is a link here that you can click on, and I'll send this out to our community tomorrow. A couple things that we've kind of put in place that we didn't necessarily have before. First of all, this year was the first year we started where we screened all new students who came to the district, just to kind of get a baseline to see what their needs are, areas of focus, so we can kind of hit the ground running from day one. That's not something we had done in the past. Really focusing on making sure, and this is a biggie, especially with our special education population, that all of our students have grade level access and curriculum. So even though we may have students that may be reading at a grade level or two behind, it's really, really important that we differentiate and that they have access to that grade level curriculum, or they will never catch up, right? They will always be behind. So that is something that we're really trying to focus and work on as we move forward here. Common informative assessments, that's where the data comes into play. We've been doing benchmark assessments for a long time. We're really kind of analyzing. We do a lot of different assessments with our students. So we're taking the next couple of months to really analyze what assessments we're doing and the purpose and why, and whether or not we continue with all of them or kind of hone in on a few. The flex period has been launched at 7-12, so that's a built-in intervention or acceleration for students that we're working through. We're going to be evaluating our standards with supports program in K-8, really taking a look at how that functions, how we're using data, and whether or not we think that is giving us the success that we want. And then something that we started this year at the middle school, high school, and we just started it this week. We are running a report every 2 weeks, our counseling department, to identify any student who's below 70 and really be able to dig in why, right? So at the end of 9 weeks, for us to find out information, it doesn't help us. That's a reactive strategy, right? It's too late then, the marking period's over. But if we could monitor this every 2 weeks, utilize our flex period for extra support, I think we can really put a huge dent in students who perhaps are scoring for a marking period or even for a year below 70 in particular quarters, because we're having a built-in 2-week intervention. Oh, am I? Is that the audience texting from home? That's great. Good. I don't know. All right. Slow my phone. That's okay. Goal 3. So professional learning communities. A lot of times when folks hear that, they may not necessarily know what it means. There is a link here for a video. I highly suggest, if you're interested, watch it. It really shows you what a best practice PLC is in action. It's really what we're striving towards. We've tried to maximize our professional development time. So if you're not aware, we have 2 meetings a month beyond our professional development days that we have. We really dedicate that for PLC time. So rather than bring all the staff, for example, middle school and high school in this room and talk to them for 30 minutes about nuts and bolts that we can do in an email or a newsletter, we can give them professional time to collaborate with their colleagues, really take a look at student data and how that impacts their instruction and how it impacts flex, and things along those lines. So that is a major, initiative for us and will continue to be, as well as launching our, essential standards and identifying those essential standards can all be done during that PLC work. We formalized that process this year, so everyone's using the same template, meeting minutes, creating meeting norms, and they're all storing it in one location. So obviously, our administrative team has access to that to help support folks throughout the year and see what type of progress that we're making, which I think is very, very important. This is another really important one. So this goes along with our equity work and some of the different things that we're putting in play. So bullet number one is not a surprise. It's been in the past where we really take a look and each summer analyze a lot of different pieces of our program, you know, whether it's AP classes, honors, student discipline, opportunities, whatever it may be, based on some of these categories that are listed. You know, we have a DEI team that does a lot of work and does great work, really kind of giving resources to our teachers to make sure throughout the year that when things come upon us, that we're really recognizing those things, kind of weaving it into our curriculum and making sure, for example, that all of our books are accessible to all of our students, that authors, you know, represent our student population, all those different important pieces. We did do some work and we'll continue to do some work about how we handle bias or conflict or incidents where, you know, there could be a potential HIV or whatever it may be. There is a document on our HIV page on the website. I've shared more specifics about that. We are looking to do an assembly program for our 7th and 8th grade students focused on the Holocaust. I think it's important that our students really have the opportunity beyond the curriculum to get another experience with that particular topic for a variety of different reasons. Challenge Day, you're going to hear me talk more about. That is an innovative program that the LAF has supported that we'll be doing later in November for our 8th and 9th grade students. I'll be doing an update on that on October 10th for our parents of our 8th and 9th graders. I'll probably do a little bit at our October board meeting as well. But it is a program really that I'm excited about, an experiential workshop and focused on social emotional learning, making sure that all of our students in the school are comfortable being in our school each and every day, and making sure that we have a inclusive environment. So really, and students probably most importantly are treating the way we want students to treat each other. So that's important. Zones of regulation is something that you know, our pre-K 6 teachers have been working on. And you'll see that in some of our classrooms, perhaps on back to school night, just getting our students to be able to take a step back, self-reflect, and really regulate what their mood is, their emotions, and kind of utilize those as strategies, you know, throughout their time in class. You know, taking a look at our recruitment and retention, again, with our staff, really focusing on making sure that our staff is representative of our student population the best we possibly can. And you've heard me talk about things like CJ Pride and other things, you know, that we've been working on for the last several years. And then I'm happy to report, and I haven't actually shared this with the board, but we did get a proposal that we're excited about. We had put out an RFP twice for our gifted and talented program. It's the next one in line as far as our cycle program reviews. Unfortunately, we didn't have anyone the first go around who bid on the proposal. The second go around, we had 2 bids, but they were astronomically expensive compared to what we've done in the past. And then we were contacted recently by PCG, who did our special education review, and they had interest as well in the gifted and talented, and they provided a proposal to us last Friday, which we're in the process of reviewing now, but it looks promising. So, you know, our promise to the community was that we would do a full review of our gifted and talented program and then make recommendations in the spring for next year moving forward. So it looks like we will be able to do that. And then finally, you know, really important is continue with our transition for the new district configuration. You know, begin construction, which we're about to on the 5A building, provide oversight of the pre-K 4, which has been ongoing over the last several months. We continue our planning for staffing, right, and what that's going to look like and who's going to go where. Our academic schedule, so a new schedule for our pre-K 4 building, a new schedule for our 5A building, and then obviously any other opportunities as far as being able to expand programming at the high school, because we will have some room in the building and some things we had on our radar that we wanted to expand. We're beginning to plan that. And then the last one is a reality, is developing a contingency plan. We know, and I've said this before, the 5A building will not be done by September of 2024. So we've been having some initial discussions at the board level of what that means. And, what's the impact for next September? We don't know yet. We have some different things we've talked about that are on the table. But until we start construction and have a better handle on what this will look like, it's, we projected this to be a 14-month build. You know how that goes sometimes with contractors and construction. So once we're, shovels in the ground and we have a better idea, which I'm assuming will probably be around January, then I think we'll be able to project out to exactly when, at what point next year do we think that building will be done. And based on that, then what would be our recommendation moving forward to the board as far as how we handle that, what that looks like. So stay tuned on that. We'll know more hopefully in the next couple of months, especially like right after the winter break. That's all I got. Any questions on anything I presented from the board?
Well, first, I apologize for my lateness. I didn't expect it to be as late as I am, but the nice thing was I could listen to it all the way here because of our live stream. So I followed along with everything that happened tonight. Very exciting stuff. So now we come to the point in the meeting where we are open for public comment. So I'll invite anybody who would like to make a public comment to come up, address the board. Try to limit the comments to about 3 minutes. We may not answer your questions tonight, but if we don't have a short answer for you, we will get back to you with an answer. So with that said, I will open that up. Does anyone have something they'd like to bring before the board? All right, I don't see any comment from the audience. Do we have a comment online? We do. Comment online.
So it is from Beth Vaccarino, Lambertville. I would like to express my concern about dismissal time for children who attend Lambertville Academy. The length of the school day has been significantly shortened for these students from 3:10 to 2:45. This means they are losing over 2 hours of school time each week, which is unacceptable. I'm worried about the impact that this could have on their education. I would like to hear steps that we've taken to address this issue as soon as possible. So this is specifically about St. John's. To start out the school year, we did do a staggered dismissal just to kind of work the kinks out. So starting at around, typically our school day ends about 3:05. What we have been doing is starting at about 2:45, bringing our preschoolers out and then staggering every 5 minutes along the way. I did have a conversation with Principal Quinones about this. I think we can kind of tighten that up now that we're almost, 2 weeks in. Especially the academy, I know has been getting there about 2:45 to kind of start rounding up students, but we talked today about the ability of them coming closer to 3 o'clock, rounding up students, and then by 3:05 being on their way down to the academy. So I would just ask for a little bit of patience. Again, in the beginning, we just wanted to make sure we trained our teachers or our parents really about, arrival and dismissal. So we didn't have a backlog, which they've been great and doing an awesome job. So I think at this point, we're probably ready to tighten that up a little bit.
Okay. Very good. Any other last chance for comment this time around? We'll close this period of public comment, and there will be another opportunity to comment later in the meeting. So with that, we'll move to our committee reports. We'll start with buildings and grounds. Ms. Percy's not here. And do you want to give the report?
Sure. So this month up for approval, we don't have one contract, that's Organic LLC. They are a well water compliance management company. It's a yearly contract. We approved, or the board approved last month to have the Western North School this month with contract for the North High School. Other than that, we there for auction them to click out each month. The acceptance that puts it with in the auction from last month. We started over $46 worth of materials that are no longer worth something. We have our fourth construction payment to Switzerland for the pre-K4 building. And then a resolution to transfer $1 million out of it to Hunterdon, which is an investment account to pay for additional construction costs. Other highlights from the meeting, but aren't necessarily up for approval. Susan and I met with our insurance broker. this month, just discuss the current, health plans of the future, healthcare and some other items. We also, another highlight is the NJ1 account that we just mentioned. The interest earned in that account is up to $1.1 million. The school bus, the board approved purchase of spring up last year will be arriving hopefully October 9th of this year. Which they consume well. We've got a couple of maintenance issues. And that is all.
Okay. So to open discussion, Mr. Kowalski, you're a member of the committee. Would you care to introduce a motion to approve items A through J?
Approve item A through J.
So moved. Can I have a second, please? Second by Sean. Thank you very much. Any discussion on any of these items? If there's no discussion, then let's vote.
Yes. Excuse me. Yes.
Brian Reese,
Yes.
Kevin Cavalaski,
Yes.
Sean Lewis. Yeah. Rachel Chudy,
Yes.
Brian Todd Marino. Tim Gallo.
Yes. Personnel. Megan.
Yeah.
Normally.
Yep.
Chair.
So just a couple things. First, we finally now have a official date. If you're not aware, Jane Ellen has been doing two jobs. She's still the principal at her old districts because they haven't released her yet, which has been fun, I'm sure. But we have an official release date. So officially her first day in the district will be on October 2nd. So Friday, the 29th will be our last day in her previous district. So we're excited with that. We spent a lot talking about just kind of the start of the year. One of the biggest things on our agenda is all of our extracurricular approvals, which you can see up there. All the different things that we offered throughout the school year are being approved typically on this agenda, extracurricular activities. And then we also talked a little bit about just our mentoring program. You can kind of see that, that our teachers that are new to the district do participate in the mentoring program where they are provided a staff member within the district who help support them along the way and provide professional development and really get used to, the climate and the culture of the district as well as our instructional philosophy.
Okay. Ms. Fischetti, you're a member of this committee. Would you care to introduce a motion to approve items A and B?
I move to approve items A and B.
So moved. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Second, Ms. Fischetti, thank you. Any discussion on items A and B? If there was no discussion, let's vote.
Brian Hughes,
Yes.
Kevin Cavalaski,
Yes.
Sean Lewis. Yes. Rachel Chudy,
Yes.
Gina Machete,
Yes.
Brian Todd Marino. Tim Gallo.
Yes. Curriculum, Ms. Petrilli.
We did not meet this month. We had our retreats, which had a lot of the plans for the upcoming activities that the district isn't getting involved in. So I have nothing to move for curriculum. I'm gonna keep
Do
going.
we have to approve? We do have a list of
It
curriculum.
was.
I
We
thought
don't. It's-
I thought it was approved last month.
Yeah,
Okay, good. Okay.
it's not on the online version.
Yep. I would just say, Ms. Jane Ellen, Dr. Jane Ellen, we are looking forward to having you come aboard full time. So, yes, policy.
Okay, so for policy, we do have the first read, which we did discuss. It has been revised and I encourage everyone to take a look at that. That's for R 5530, the substance abuse. It's been revised quite a bit. And then I also have the second reading of the therapy dogs, P 2561 and 16.2 around sick leave, excuse me. So I'd like to move letters A and B.
So moved. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Mr. Keys, thank you. Any discussion on items A and B?
My only comment is well done, Tony. I guess that's exactly what I was looking for anyway. In terms of clarity, so.
In the first, in the first reading of,
Correct.
so I agree. I also like the supportive of the scaling of the penalties and I think it's good.
Sure. So what,
minutes.
Yeah.
Well, I will note, it is online and the changes are in red.
Yeah.
aren't they?
Yes, they are. But I'll just
So,
give it,
but yeah.
yeah, I can give a quick little summary. So just really looking at, from a philosophical side, how we're gonna treat substance abuse issues, among our student population. So we really tried to flesh out, first and second offenses and really be very specific as to the process that we follow, when there is a student who's suspected to be under the influence, of a substance. And kind of walk you through step 1 all the way down through step 10. Also keeping in mind that we realize when things like this happen, we are, treating some of these situations as it could be a possible addiction, right? And we want to, the discipline piece is one thing, but we also want to probably even more importantly support any student who's in this situation and specifically their parents. So you'll see in the policy, there are a lot of different pieces in there where we want to make sure that student is getting, help from outside professionals, from professionals within our own organization, to ensure that if there is an issue, that we provide as much support as we possibly can to get that student and to support their family moving in the right direction, in a positive direction. So take a look at it. We really kind of fleshed it out much more specifically, and I think for the better.
And for the board, again, we're bringing this back. This is a
Back for
first
second
reading.
first
It is a second first reading. So there are opportunities for you to comment on the policy before our next meeting. Any other discussion on the policies? If not, then let's vote.
Yes.
John Lewis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jane Bichetti.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And school and community. Start, Marina.
So school and community, most of the topics that you covered were also outlined in this. We spoke about back to school night and how that's a great opportunity to really introduce a lot of new initiatives and programs. Talk about on-course, although everybody's probably heard a lot about on-course, but it's another place to learn about it. About the changes that are part of the communication plan and the calendar of activities that went out today. And that is our house on the website. Don't consider using the video because we also discussed the calendar and the website. So as Tony showed, we've had separate calendars for facility use, for athletic schedules, and for school closures, other events. And so now we'll keep one calendar, and families can use that drop down menu so that it's specific to their needs. And also looked at the website and how it as a hub, it'll house things like the specific school specific newsletters, that calendar, and that list of activities, and a lot of other things. We spoke a little bit more about challenge day, which Tony said he'll be discussing in more detail in the upcoming meetings, and how it'd be important to talk about the HIB analysis from the past school year that was would be included in the parent contribution to help people understand the reason we're bringing this program to school. And we talked about the action plan. So strategic planning process includes an action plan that has major activities that relate to each identified goal and objective. So we took a look at the draft plan and some of the potential proposed activities and ways to evaluate the current district activities for effectiveness before action. And that is it.
Okay. I don't know about you, but from a parent perspective, I'm kind of liking the on-course. I think the attendance tracker is nice. It's better than what we had in Aspen. I think the grade tracker is better than what we had in Aspen. So far, I'm kind of happy with it. So don't know how other people feel about it. Anyway, okay. So with that, we come to point 10, routine information items. Our harassment, intimidation, and bullying report, of which we don't have one. We have no incidents. And fire drills.
I think it'd be good
We have
for all of us.
Okay. So that brings us to our second period of public comment. Once again, if anyone has something they'd like to bring before the board, please come up, state your name, address the board, and we're happy to hear from you. So the floor is yours. Okay, anyone online? Okay, very good. Then I will close the second period of public comment. At this time, we do have a need to go into an executive session. That will probably take 30 minutes. And we will be taking no action after we come out of that executive session. So you're welcome to stay here if you'd like. So we'll take we'll adjourn here. We'll take a 5-minute break and then we will meet in our usual spot.